Racine County, see, nobody's asking for emails and nobody's asking for information from Racine County. Hot government has. And now it's really starting to show that after 4 months, you can't produce one email. We asked for Robin Voss email. We didn't. They did. Robin Voss email, Van Wangard, some of the supervisors in Racine County, and then, of course, the people from CTCL. Those were listed also.
Well, the crazy continues, and we're here to talk about it again. Talking Racine with George Myers.
Morning.
And Jim Spodek.
Morning.
And Ken Jorgen. And good news, good news. Racine is going to make Main Street great again. I don't remember it being great. Well, maybe for a while when I was a kid.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll be 75, and you weren't here when you were a kid now.
No.
But it was better than it is now, but I don't know if I'd call it great. But I remember since the 60s, people have been trying to do things downtown to revitalize that area and make it something that people want to visit. Come
That's
down
true.
and spend some money, do some commerce.
The big thing was the river, the marina.
Yeah.
That was going to save downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Remember that?
And the Festival Park, in conjunction with the marina, Festival Park was a great thing.
That came a little later.
But, they had a lot of festivals down there, and then all of a sudden...
Well, what I was going to say was the arena. Remember? The arena.
And then the arena was
yeah,
that came after
that would have worked
Festival
out.
Park.
That would have worked out good. I want to say a shout out to Dennis on that one because arenas all over the country, and I'm talking big ones, are tanking. Racine would have been a disaster, an absolute disaster.
What about Machinery Row? That was going to revitalize downtown
That's
too.
another one. We go on and on and on about it, but we got a new revitalization campaign now.
Yeah, and it's going to be like $10,000 a piece for people who want to come to downtown Racine and open up a business. A little kickstart there, a little $10,000 kickstart, and really, what is that $10,000 going to get you? It's not even a year's rent, probably.
You don't open up a business downtown with $10,000.
Certainly not a restaurant.
It's got to be, certainly not a restaurant. You got to have another $10,000 or so in the bank, and you were kind of hoping, in another couple of years, I'm going to be able to pursue my dream, and I'm going to open up a business because this is what I've always wanted to do, and that $10,000 could move it up. And unless there's somebody sitting around there, you're not going to say, $10,000?
Well,
let's open up a business.
What's the square foot price down there lately for
I
rent?
don't even know. It's over the top what it should be. But I got a video here. I just want to play a quick little video that was, I think the Journal Times actually did it. I don't know who did it exactly. But
You got a video?
Yeah, I got a video.
Jim's got a video.
I'm going to just play this a little bit. And this is on...
I love them.
Bringing in money to Main Street. And I want to kind of get into Main Street, what's happened down there in the last couple of years. And now we're going to talk about, revitalizing it. But let me just play this quick.
Through the pandemic, if they have an empty spot next door or several empty spots on the street, it makes it really hard for folks to stop and walk up and down and visit their stores. So we want to have a really vibrant street that has tons of shops or cafes, and someone can stop and enjoy that and enjoy all the businesses that are on that street. So it's really important to us that we get these dollars out on the street. The governor is dedicated to helping our main streets all around the state. During the pandemic, I would often talk with him, and he would say, what's happening with our small businesses, what's happening with our main streets. And now that we have the opportunity with the American Rescue Plan Act funds to deploy that, we are really excited to be able to try and help bring back folks walking and visiting our...
Corey Mason you saw him in the video. He didn't actually say anything, but he did say something in the paper that I'd like to just read here. It says, you don't know, you know Racine like I do. Our Main Street is really our history. It is the heart of the community. Very nice words. My question is, why did you work so hard a year ago to get businesses closed down there, and even against a judge's ruling? Why were you trying to close down businesses down there if it is the heart of our community?
Exactly. It's almost like a clown show, truthfully. Now all of a sudden Main Street's the heart of the community. We got to get in there and rebuild it. It's.
I disagree with you. Clowns are funny. These guys are not funny.
No. And I don't think they realize what they did to businesses with this, where other communities stayed open. They didn't come in and drop the hammer like they did in Racine. And they actually did, not only to the businesses, to the schools. There was a lot of damage done over that year.
The list of
didn't have to be
vacancies.
that.
The list of vacancies is incredible. 512 Monument Square, 524 Monument Square,
Yeah, it goes on and
141
on.
Main Street.
I don't think that's all the vacant buildings. I mean,
Well,
we drove down there it's been a while ago,
yeah.
but it was like 30.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Well, you
Crazy.
got a hell of a list here. There's about 20, 25 right here.
But here's the thing: we're going to come in now. Now, government going to shut you down, but now we're going to come back and give you $10,000 to open up and get back on your feet. We're here to help you. I mean, it is so bogus to me. I find it almost disgusting in a way.
10 grand would have been big in the 60s when there were people down there that were actually trying to revitalize the place, open up small
I
businesses.
get you.
Well, that's
But
another
now
thing.
it's-
10 grand, you don't open a business for 10 grand.
Yeah,
anymore.
that's all this is showmanship. That's all I see.
That's all it is. If there's there happen to be a few people around, and there's not going to be 20 or 30 of them, I guarantee you that. They've got 10 or 15 grand saved up, and they're hoping in another couple of years they're going to get that extra money saved up so they can open up something downtown. Yeah, that person can maybe use the 10 grand. It takes them up to 25, 30,000 that they need. But just to say, we're offering 10 grand, come on and start up a business, doesn't work.
Well, you're going to get some people. You're going to get a few to come in. It's not going to.
You think so?
No, you're going to get some people.
They'll be there a
10
very
grand?
short time.
Yeah,
if
that's
they
what
think
I
you're
mean.
going to open a
We
business.
did this. We did
By
this.
the time you get done with the rent and 6 months down the road, they're going to be. You need some product in there. You need.
They
you need
damaged
to do
Main
something
Street.
with
They
that.
damaged the city. Corey Mason and his shutting down Main Street and being so aggressive on it. We're going to ticket you. We're going to do it over holidays, 4th of July, and I mean that was damaging, very damaging.
It's been struggling for a long
I mean,
time.
And that basically was telling those people too.
At least
that,
50 years.
Yeah, that we don't like you. You're a hazard to our community. You're spreading a disease.
Not only that, George,
and
if
empty
you
buildings
remember-
don't spread diseases.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now it's nice and safe for Dottie Bowersock and Corey Mason. You don't have to worry about these places anymore. They're empty.
Yeah.
You should be happy.
But here's the other thing. Now, remember the COVID relief came we're going to give some of these to the businesses, but only to businesses we like. It wasn't
Yeah.
going to be the businesses we didn't like. I mean, remember, I think it was Dimples.
Yeah.
They applied, they couldn't
Yeah,
get it.
right, yeah.
But you can't get it. Now, Dimple it's just such bogus. I mean, and they make this thing look like it's, we're going to move forward. I got to believe the merchants down there can see right through this.
Well, it's got to take some long term. It's got to a whole change in policy about downtown and the operation of the government, so it's not a burden to society. Government's supposed to kind of help keep the peace so that the businesses can survive, so they can do business.
Right.
And and the mafia or somebody isn't coming and taking over with various things that they do.
I'd like to see a little feature on the newspaper where they track the businesses as they come in and receive money and that are going to be opening up. So coming soon, have a little corner, and we could see who's actually looking at what
don't
property.
hold your breath.
I don't
that
think
one.
you'll find that in
Yeah,
the paper.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. But I would like to see it.
That's
Yeah,
what a
it'd be nice-
community
it'd be
paper
nice to
does,
see.
Doc. But this is not a community newspaper. But we're more community than
Now businesses open
Well, why
up.
don't maybe we should do it?
Well, we can watch. I mean, we've been down there. I did have somebody contact us and say, "Where's the boutique hotel?" Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Hey, where is that boutique hotel?
I think that's in a Joni Mitchell song, isn't it?
Here's the thing: businesses are going to open up. There'll be, I read about them frequently in the paper, but the problem is behind them, businesses are closing, and apparently faster than they're opening up. And so that's why I say it's going to take a change in the city's attitude towards it. You can't have this Bowersock Mason thing coming in, closing people down because you're dangerous. You can't have the regulators running around and inspectors come around and say you got this wrong, you got this wrong, you got this wrong.
Okay, I got a question. What about the new strain of variant or Delta or whatever it is now coming, and they're talking about masking up again and all the rest?
Yeah, see
That's what's this going to do?
That's right.
You know?
It's going to make it it difficult again to open business.
Right.
And then they're talking about, actually, they're already talking about
Yeah.
Racine County is one of the places where we got to have we give concern because we're having all this increase in COVID thing or whatever.
Mask or whatever. Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, I just stay out of the business. Just the 10 grand, yeah, that's great. But you know what? It's not your place, really. Let businesses free to
Well, not to
operate.
mention that, what kind of function is that in the United States of America that we have all this subsidy of coming in?
I think the property is overvalued down there for one thing. That's a real.
Well, if you subsidize it, you're going to have overvalued property. I mean, if you let the free market handle it, water seeks its own level at some point, and real estate prices also. And I think a lot of that's right now is
I don't know how those prices are staying up like that.
Yeah.
There's something going on.
George, it goes up. It also comes down.
That's right. I mean, we saw that in 2008.
Yeah.
All those things that went up and all of a sudden crashed.
Yep.
We'll see.
Let's talk about open records.
I wanna.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there was an open records. There'd been a lot of open records requests
Right.
submitted to the city, and you don't necessarily get a response. And the one that went in April from H.O.T government, and it was pretty comprehensive in what they were requesting.
Right.
And the city's response was, "Oh, geez,
Actually,
that's
the
an awful
county.
lot of stuff."
That was the county's response. There was two actually. One to the city, one to the county.
Which one was the 80,000 or
That was
60,000?
that was Vicky Selco from
That's
the
the
city
city,
of Racine.
right?
Correct.
We got a
down payment.
lawyer firm coming in from Cardall,
Cardall,
and
yep.
then all of a sudden they finally responded.
Yeah.
Did you get your 60,000 email?
No, I got 200.
200, huh?
Little short change there,
A little
Jim.
short. I want to talk about that. Now we got two of them. One. I talked to Harry Waite, who had applied for those records requests, and I want to talk about the city first. Now we had gotten a couple shows back, if you remember, we broke down some emails that were sent to Tara Coolidge, the city clerk, and it was from CTCL, it was from Michael Spitzer Rubenstein from Vote at Home, and how there was a connection there with her giving up information to the CTCL and some of the things that went. It was a little damning on her part. Then there was two requests actually to the city. One was on, and the other one was on Vicky Selco, who was the liaison to the mayor, and they came back and said, "Oh, there's so many emails, 60, 80,000 of them. It's going to be voluminous." They send in 200.
Well, and we talked earlier, and I thought this was like a massive amount of time that the request was being made for, and it turns out it's like about 30 days.
Yeah, it's not this huge amount that they want to claim.
40 to 80,000 emails in
It's
like a month's
bogus,
time.
Bogus.
You know what I think is going on? That they've gotten so sloppy down there. I mean, I think there is a level of, I don't know if it's corruption. Well, I think there is corruption. But I think it's like there's communications that they don't want the public to see.
I
I mean,
agree.
where they talk freely about what's going on in this town and about different people in the town. And when a records request comes in that's this comprehensive, they ain't going to want those conversations made public.
After I kind of looked at this a little bit, and after Harry sent me over Selco's the records request on Vicky Selco, I kind of looked at them. I looked at Tara Coolidge's, and then I looked at Vicky Selco. Tara's is, I wouldn't say extensive. I think there's probably more, but there were enough in there to say, Tara, I got some real questions about how you handle that clerk's office. Mm-hmm. When you go to Selco's, how is it that none of the folks that contacted Tara were contacting Selco and vice versa? There's this crossover that I'm sure happened that you just don't see. It was very well gleaned, I would say, on Selco.
In other words, during the election process, Selco and Coolidge would have been communicating with each
There should
other.
be a lot more.
They
A
should
lot
be
more.
included on the same email.
But here's where I'm going.
Should
Right.
be getting copies of
Exactly.
emails.
Right.
Just recently, subpoenas were issued in Brown County, which is Green Bay, and Milwaukee, to the election clerks. And I'm just going to read into this a little bit. We had Josh Call come into Racine talking about neighborhood policing. I think that's bogus. I think Josh Call came here because
Josh Call is
the
Attorney General. Yeah, there's
General,
probably
right.
people out there.
and
who
yeah,
don't
the Attorney
recognize
General,
me.
and I think there's some stuff going on behind the scenes that are saying, "Hey, keep those subpoenas out of Racine." Well, those subpoenas are probably coming to Racine, and when I looked at this, now I'm maybe reaching a little bit, but Tara's in some deep,
Doo-doo.
yeah. I mean, with some of those emails that I read, I mean, there's some definite questions that need to be asked. Now, Vicky isn't, as far as what I've seen. Now, there could possibly be more. But could they be setting up Tara to say, when the subpoenas come, we didn't know anything. It was all the clerk that did everything, that, took the money, transferred, or whatever. Or the ballots went here, there's some discrepancies, talk to Tara. I think they're setting her up. That's what I think. Now, that's
Could
my
be.
own personal
Well,
opinion.
I'll tell you what validates that a little bit is this 60,000 emails that Selco had, and they're saying, well, there's so many here, it's going to take some time. We bring in an attorney to put some pressure on Letney, the city attorney, to say, you better put it up or you're in trouble. So he says, okay, turn them over. Do we get 60,000? No, you get 200. You see, and so where are those other 59,800 emails?
Right.
What are well, that could be all the connective stuff
Right.
that would put Selco on the front line doing things. Whereas now we just did the 200. No, she's got no connection to this.
Yeah, this is
she's
lickety
clean.
split clean. I mean, she connected all the monies to these other 4 cities. I mean, it's all there, but we knew it was all there. It's nothing new, but there's definitely connections. There's no way you're telling me that this never materialized. Now, there might be some emails that were accounts that were outside of the city or text messages. There's stuff that went on. How deep it goes, I don't know, but it's certainly fishy that you're not getting all the information. And I guess no one really expected that because Racine kind of has that reputation of the Sandy Widener
That
case.
records request was comprehensive.
It was.
I mean, very comprehensive. And then this response, there are no records responsive to this request in the custody or control of Racine County.
Well, that's the Racine County one. That's the Racine
but
County.
still, 200? And it's that's nothing from Racine County. That's just the city.
No, that's the county actually came up with that.
Selco's
request. No,
200?
Selco, they gave no response on Selco. Well, we finished it. That's the end of the request. That's all they came by and said.
No,
that
they're
request
saying,
is
there's 60,000. Well, there are only 200.
Yeah.
But they're saying there is nothing in Racine County that's
They're saying
responsive
there
to
is
the request?
nothing in Racine County. No, that's the Racine County. That's the request to Racine County. We asked for hot government asked for emails. I mean, I got Harry sent it to me.
You've got the records request on the website. You go take a look at it and tell me what you think. That there's nothing in Racine County that's responsive to that request?
Not one email. Asked for emails of numerous people, including CTCL, a lot of the people from Zuckerberg.
I want to get this straight now. Not one email has been produced, or there's not one email that exists.
Well,
right here. There are no records responsive to this request.
Now,
in the custody or control of Racine County.
Now that was pretty general throughout. Now,
it must have been a hell of a bonfire.
No, what they're saying about the emails is they don't. There was so many. There's so many emails that they are having trouble getting it to you.
Oh, so the county, we're back to the 60,000 type of thing.
The county is separate from the city.
Right, I understand.
Two separate emails. The county emails is saying, yes, we do have emails, but there's so many we can't get them to you because we need more time.
Well, we heard that story from Selco.
The city and the county are doing the exact same thing.
They
now are coordinating.
This pattern, yeah.
They're coordinating now. Because I'm going to tell you, the
It's
county
nice to see them working together, isn't it?
and the city are in this up to their eyeballs. There's no doubt about it. And so the only thing that came out of the county was they asked about the Dominion voting machines. They have modems. They, were connected to the internet. The machines were only connected manually by a designated poll worker after the votes were cast and counted. Then the machines were disconnected from the internet because there were questions about was the machines connected to the internet. And we're going to put this up there so you can kind of go through this. I'll put it on Talking Racine too, but it'll be on Hot Government website as far as the response from the county. But the county's up to their eyeballs in this, and they're hiding something. I don't know what it is, but they're definitely hiding something. What do you think it is, Doc?
It could be anything, man. It could be corruption, or it could just be bad language on their part. I mean, if I write you an email and I talk about George, I don't want George reading it. And I think there's probably a lot of that. But there also could be a level of corruption in which we've seen that in the Machinery Row and the promotion of the Arena project and all these other things.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of stuff that they just don't want the citizens to see.
You're responsible for your life, and if you fall out of line, I mean, there's either a fine. I mean, you can go all the way to if you're serious enough, you go to jail. A city official somehow seems to get around that. Here you have a state statute. You ask for the emails. You pay for it. You're the citizens that actually are really the boss, if you want to go that far. But you can't get it. We don't have anything comprehensive that talks about that. This is the Racine County. I mean, I get Racine, the city of Racine. I get that. But Racine County, see, nobody's asking for emails and nobody's asking for information from Racine County. Hot government has. And now it's really starting to show that after 4 months, you can't produce one email. We asked for Robin Voss email. We didn't. They did. Robin Voss email, Van Wangard, some of the supervisors in Racine County, and then, of course, the people from CTCL. Those were listed also.
Now, these will be emails that contain those names, either as notified parties or going to that party. To say that all their emails during that month period that they're looking for, there's no emails that have any of those names, who are very prominent names. They're people who are very active, and you would think that something would come in.
Oh, you can't find one
with that name on it. Yeah.
Well, they're so voluminous they can't come up with it.
Yeah, even
but you can't come up in 4 months.
Yeah, even if it's asking about a poll worker or something like that, it could be something we're really not concerned about. But to say, no, they did not talk to us at all during that entire month.
Well, the comprehensiveness of this request, I mean, things like Foxconn could show up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It could be on anything, right?
They're definitely hiding something. The Racine County. So when you talk about the city, which we know they hide, we know the Sandy Wider's been in case for 4 years on a secret court, all the rest. We all know that. Yeah. And that's how they operate. But what's happening now, it's starting to crack open. It's like an egg you're cracked. The egg is cracked. When's it going to start gooing out? Because what's happening here is they know that they can't release this. If it was nothing here, they would release it.
Yeah, they know they're legally required, and they know they can't.
Correct.
No, wait a minute.
They're in a tough spot.
You're saying there's nothing with those names, but yet what is this large quantity of emails that the county has that is so big we haven't got them all assembled yet?
That's what they're telling. That's what there's. That's
all right. So it could. I mean, some of those names could be in that large quantity of emails.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
they just haven't released them yet. We haven't gotten a single one
ever.
It's called changing your story.
Yeah, it's called basically stalling, hiding, hoping you go away. Yeah, and if this is just going to ramp up, and now again, subpoenas have been issued from the Election and Campaign Committee to Green Bay and to Milwaukee. Racine and Racine Fellowship, it's coming here. So, and Josh Cull, the Attorney General, doesn't show up in Racine just out of the blue. All of a sudden he wants to talk about Racine policing. No, they're talking about something else. I mean, the Journal-Times, I mean, they just put out a bowl of milk and they lap it up. But,
they're still working, huh, the Journal-Times?
Yeah, they still are. They're still around.
What, it's like $2 for a newspaper now?
I don't know what it is.
I'm pretty sure it is. What, you got a price on there? I think it's $2 for a daily paper.
The front was, $2.
$2.
Yeah, $2.
Anyway. All right. Well, anyway, that's the complaints today, and I guess we'll just continue on. Keep
so nothing to see here. Everything's fine.
But I will put that on Talk of Racine. You can kind of look at the county's response to the.
And look at the original request.
Right.
I mean, it is comprehensive. It's unimaginable.
In 4 months, you can't put it together, Doc. Can't find them in 4 months.
Or you can't even release things sequentially. Say, well, here's so much here.
I'll put a whole thing.
We're going to work on that tomorrow.
It'll be interesting for the viewers to see it.
And there's no excuse that they don't have the manpower because, well, we've talked about that too. How manpower is increased through the years as the population has gone down. So we got fewer people to serve, and more people that are serving those few.
Well, I want to work with Harry Wade a little bit, and kind of pick his brain a little bit on where he's going with this thing and there's a good group of people in that high government, good group.
Well, we'll be back next week with whatever Jim finds in Harry's brain.
That's scary.
So enjoy your week. Come back and see us next Monday. Thanks for being here.